Sha'Carri Richardson, the reigning 100-meter world champ, was reeling from her worst season in years. Shericka Jackson lined up right next to her in Heat 3. Jackson exploded out. Richardson got buried by the pack. The finish came down to 1/100th of a second. It was also 2 years in the making. Sha'Carri Richardson was born March 25, 2000, in Dallas. She didn't grow up with her birth parents. Her grandmother, Betty Harp, raised her and became the woman Richardson calls her rock and foundation. Her birth mother died in 2021, news that hit while Richardson was at the U.S. Olympic trials. That grief changed everything. Richardson won those 100-meter trials in 10.86 seconds, punching her ticket to the Tokyo Olympics. Then a drug test came back positive for marijuana. She said she used it to cope with her mother's death. The drug was banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency. She took a 1-month suspension, and her Olympic spot vanished instantly. She watched Tokyo from home. Most athletes never bounce back from that. But Richardson did more than recover. She rebuilt everything. In 2023, she hit the World Championships in Budapest with a major point to prove. She barely made the final as a time qualifier after taking third in her semifinal heat. Running from lane 9, the far outside lane, she overtook Shericka Jackson and the legendary Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in the final meters, finishing in 10.65 seconds. Championship record, world champion. She was the first woman to win a world 100-meter final after failing to finish top 2 in her semi. At the Paris 2024 Olympics, Richardson grabbed silver in the 100 meters. Then she anchored the 4x100 relay, charging from third place to pass 2 runners, carrying Team USA from the back to gold. Olympic relay gold. She had pulled off the impossible before. She would need that resilience in Tokyo. Shericka Jackson was born July 16, 1994, in Jamaica, but didn't start as a sprinter. She was a 400-meter specialist, taking bronze at the Rio Olympics and the 2019 World Championships. When she moved to short sprints in 2021, the track world noticed something incredible. She had the raw speed to dominate the 100 meters, too. Her personal best of 10.65 seconds, set at the 2023 Jamaican Championships, ties her with Richardson for 6th fastest ever. In the 200 meters, her personal best of 21.41 makes her the 2nd fastest woman ever. She won gold in the 200 at the 2022 World Championships. She is not just any sprinter. She is one of the greatest female sprinters ever. In 2024, an injury forced her out of the Paris Olympics. She missed the games entirely, but she came back in 2025, clocking 10.88 in June, reminding the world she was far from done. What made this rivalry so electric was the massive difference in their racing styles. Jackson was a powerhouse from the gun, a starter who grabbed the lead and dared anyone to catch her. Richardson was the complete opposite, slow out of the blocks, but lethal in those final meters. She came from behind and looked totally unstoppable. Different weapons, but nearly identical resumes. In the 2023 Budapest final, both stars peaked at the exact same moment. Richardson took gold in 10.65, with Jackson right behind. This rivalry was forged in moments like that. Their last 100-meter showdown before Tokyo was the 2023 Prefontaine Classic. Jackson won it in 10.70. Richardson finished 4th. Jackson had the momentum. Heading into Tokyo, their 100-meter head-to-head record was dead even at 4 wins for each sprinter. One race would tip the scales. Both athletes knew it. Between Paris and Tokyo 2025, Richardson's world shifted. A February 2025 injury wrecked her training before the season had even officially begun. When she showed up at the Tokyo Grand Prix in May, she clocked a slow 11.47. The reigning world champion was nearly half a second off her personal best time. At the Prefontaine Classic in July, she finished dead last in her heat, not second to last, dead last. The Budapest world champion walked off in shame. By September, her best time was 11.05. That ranked her 56th fastest in the world. She got an automatic bye into the championships thanks to her 2023 world title. That saved her from the U.S. trials. She came to Japan with one goal: to find her greatness again. Before the Prefontaine Classic, She promised she would produce the results she wanted. The entire track world waited to see if she could. The women's 100-meter heats kicked off on September 13th, 2025. This was just the beginning. No medals, no finals without surviving the heat. But in race 3, the stakes felt totally different. Richardson and Jackson were head-to-head. On paper, it was lopsided. Jackson had run 10.88. Richardson was at 11.05. That gap should have been obvious. Jackson proved it the second the starter pistol fired. She exploded out of lane 5, taking the lead. Richardson, following a pattern that defined her career, started slow. The announcer made the call. Shericka Jackson gets a very strong start. Sha'Carri Richardson has ground to make up. She had work to do, and she did it. Her start is never her weapon. It is all about her top-end speed, that ability to accelerate when other runners are already hitting their maximum. In the final meters of Heat 3, the engine roared. She tore through the field, blew past Jackson, and finished first. The board flashed. Richardson 11.03, Jackson 11.04. A gap the width of nothing. That 11.03 was a season best. Not her championship time from Budapest, but it was fast. She was not the dominant Richardson we know, but it was enough. It was Richardson's first 100-meter win over Jackson in 2 years, finally leveling their series at 5 wins apiece. They met again in the September 14th semifinal heat. This time, the outcome was different. Richardson stumbled out of the blocks, triggering nearby athletes into a false start. Officials issued a green card, no disqualification, and they reset the race. During the second start, Richardson stumbled again during the transition, leaving her near the back of the pack. She managed to take third, trailing behind Jackson and Marie-Josie Ta-Lu-Smith. She qualified for the final as one of the fastest losers. There, she faced her training partner, Melissa Jefferson Woodin. Woodin won in 10.61, shattering the championship record Richardson set in Budapest. Jackson took fourth at 10.88. Richardson was fifth. It was a season best, but not the result she wanted after a tough year. After the race, Richardson took to social media. 2025 owes me nothing. I am just thankful for what this year revealed, setting the tone for the rest of my life. I am Sha'Carri Richardson, and there is more to come. Just you wait and see. Sha'Carri Richardson arrived in Tokyo as a question mark. Injury derailed her season, and the rankings had buried her. When Jackson exploded off the blocks in Heat 3, it looked like we were in for more of the same.